We're Matt and Carla, and we're the Canadian-Mexican duo behind Must Do Canada.
After traveling the world for many years, visiting 6 continents and 40 countries, we decided to explore more of our home country and find the best things to do in each province and territory.
Our YouTube life started in 2017 when we did a 150-day road trip across Canada in celebration of Canada's 150th birthday.
Now with winter just around the corner, here are some of the best ways to have fun during the winter.
When it comes to the winter, not everyone loves it. If you're not into activities and things like that, it's obviously a very cold time of year, it's quite dark, and you might find yourself staying in the house more often. But if you can get into some winter activities, it's actually a really fun time of the year, and it's one of our favorite times.
That's right, so for sure you gotta embrace the winter in order to like it. And many people have asked me, what are you doing here since you were from Mexico? Like, don't you hate it here? I said, no, I actually love it because there's so many activities that you can only do in the winter.
So whether you live in Canada or moving to Canada or traveling to Canada in the winter, we're gonna go over some of the most popular activities to do during the colder months. One of the easiest activities to do during the winter months is snowshoeing. That's because it's quite easy to do. It's basically the same as hiking, just with snowshoes strapped to your shoes, and it's quite cheap.
And you can pretty much do it anywhere, even in the backyard. Right now there's not too much snow, so you won't need a snowshoes here.
You would look silly doing it here right now.
But yeah, you can just rent snowshoes or buy them. You can find quite inexpensive snowshoes.
Yeah, they're probably about $100.
Yeah, and just go and explore it when the snow is nice and fluffy. It's so much fun. It's snowing.
Cross-country skiing is another popular sport. It's a lot easier than downhill skiing as it's not as scary, but it's still great exercise, and it's much cheaper as you don't have to pay to go to a ski resort.
Yeah, and we haven't done it that much. We actually have done it just once in Saskatchewan, and it's really easy. Like, it's a lot of workout, it's very good exercise, and yes, it can be a little bit scary sometimes in the small hills.
Wow.
Because you feel a little bit more wobbly. But me, because you know, Matthew has like so much strength in the legs from ice hockey, and me, I'm not that good, so it takes me a little longer to learn things.
But definitely not as scary as downhill skiing.
This is definitely one of our favorite activities during the winter.
Yeah, for me, I love alpine skiing. Not only are the views so spectacular when you're on top of the mountain, but it's just so fun being able to go down as fast as possible.
And probably this sport is more on the expensive side because the equipment is quite expensive, and then when you rent it out or you buy the lift tickets, it can really add up. But it's definitely one of the best activities that you can do. And believe it or not, Matthew actually started skiing when he met me.
Yeah, they all wanted to go skiing, so of course we went up there, we took a lesson, and not too long into the lesson, the guy was like, I think you can just go on your own and start doing the green runs.
And that's because you know how to skate.
Yeah, I think if you come from a skating background, it's a little easier. But yeah, that's another thing. It's a little harder to learn because you're not going to go to the top of the mountain right away because it's quite terrifying.
Yeah, and you don't fully enjoy it until you get better at it. Like, I remember Matthew said, how come you're not like that good, you know? I said, well, because you just gotta train your muscles, and then you really need to feel more confident in order to go down the hill, and then it's a lot of fun.
Another activity that's famous to do during the winters in Canada is skating. So of course, we're known for it because of hockey, but you can actually go skating on outdoor rinks here as well as on frozen lakes, right?
Yeah, and it's not really the same to skate in an indoor skating rink that is in an outdoor skating rink, because in the outdoor skating rink you have like the cracks from the ice. However, it's beautiful to be surrounded by the trees and the snow, and if you go to a frozen lake, especially around the Rockies, oh my god, it's so pretty. activity that we should try more often is snowmobiling. We've done it, or at least I've done it just twice, and I have a lot of fun. Like, oh my god, those machines are so powerful, but yeah, it can be a little bit scary, like crashing against a tree, I guess.
Well, I don't find it that scary, but I grew up operating them, and it is a really fun activity. For most people, you'll probably be going on a day tour, because a snowmobile is obviously very expensive to buy. But you can rent and go on a tour for probably $200 or $300 a day. So it is probably one of the more expensive activities, but it's a lot of fun. And if you can get to a nice open area, you can cruise up to about 100 miles per hour. Many of you probably know fishing. It's done across the world. But in Canada in the wintertime, you can also go ice fishing. I grew up doing this as a kid. We haven't done it so much lately, but it is a fun activity that you can do. And there are some tours around the country. Basically, you cut a hole in the ice, put down your hook, and wait.
And maybe it sounds very cold, just like waiting for the fish to come, but there's equipment for it. Like, we went with these guys that they actually did a fire on the ice, like crazy enough. But then in Saskatchewan, we also went with a more equipped tour where you're inside the tent and they have a stove, like a warmer, and then you have hot chocolate, so it's quite nice.
Yeah, I even know some people that go and they have kind of like a shed that they park on the lake, so it's actually heated. Some of them even have a TV in there, just like luxurious, while they leave the hook in the water and hope to catch that delicious rainbow trout.
Yeah, we gotta try that. Winters wouldn't be the same without the winter festivals.
Yeah, it's a great way to warm the heart.
Yes, it does. And it's a great way to embrace the winter.
Yeah, there's a lot of winter festivals across the country. Some of the most famous ones are the Winter Carnival in Quebec and Ottawa's Winterlude, both of which we got to experience this year. Another one we love is the Banff Snow Days, which is in the Canadian Rockies, of course. And another cool thing we got to do this year was the World Pond Hockey Championship in Plaster Rock, New Brunswick.
Yeah, it was super cool to see how many people enjoy the winter. It was cold to be standing on a frozen lake at -40, I must say. But I really enjoy watching the different teams and seeing Matthew in action.
Yeah, I fell a couple of times. It was my first time actually playing like true pond hockey, and it's a lot more challenging because not only do you have to obviously play hockey, but you have to watch out for all the cracks in the ice. Another really fun activity is tubing or tobogganing or sledding. Basically finding a hill with snow on it and sliding down to the bottom. So it was a really fun activity as a kid. Actually more rambunctious. I'm surprised I didn't get hurt. Sometimes
yeah, some people get hurt. But now we've tried it in an actual, we've tried it in COP, in the Calgary Olympic Park, where they actually had the tracks and the tubes. And I actually brought my mom and my sister. I never believed that my mom was gonna go down the hill, but she had so much fun. And it's just a great activity for the whole family.
Yes, and it can be quite cheap. So there's like basically two ways to do it. You either buy a tube or a sled, and you can find various hills in various cities and towns across Canada, or you can go to
a recreation park
where they've kind of set it up and pay to go tubing, and then it's fun and you don't have to buy a tube.
Who said that you couldn't bike across the snow?
Yeah, another activity that's popular now in the winter, it's like relatively new, is called fat tire biking or just fat biking. Basically the same as a mountain bike, but with really fat tires, which helps you to cruise through the snow.
So it's actually pretty hard. I don't think I can go uphill because not only you have like you need the strength to go uphill, but also to push the snow in a way. So it was quite hard, but it's also such a good exercise that you won't be cold at all.
Yeah, when we did it at Panorama Mountain Resort, and it really was like a winter wonderland.
Yeah, and the best part is if you fall down, it doesn't hurt because you fall on snow. One of the activities that I always wanted to do was dog sledding. since I watched it on a movie, I said I want to do that, and we did that last year.
Yeah, we went up to Saskatchewan to do it, but you can actually do it all across the country. One of the most famous places to do it, of course, is the Canadian Rockies. So you can just sign up with a tour and you can go, you know, on an hour tour, a 4-hour tour, or some of them even do it overnight.
And it's quite amazing how strong and powerful these dogs are and how excited they are at doing this. At this point, something that we're looking forward to enjoy are hot springs, another great activity to kind of relax and enjoy the winter.
Yeah, you can go in the hot springs obviously in the summer and the winter, but in the winter it's really nice because on the outside it's cold, you're really hot on the inside, and sometimes at places like Radium Hot Springs it looks so beautiful because all around you is snow. And it's just a whole different experience.
Yeah, and there's two different kinds of hot springs. Some of them are man-made, you know, it's literally just like a pool, or sometimes they actually source the water from actual hot springs, and some other are just in the middle of the wilderness, which we haven't done, but we gotta go and look for one. So that's it for this video. That's why we love doing activities, because just being outside talking, it can get very miserable. We're very cold right now.
Much better when you're skiing and then you get all nice and warm.
Yeah, exactly. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up.
Hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. We reply to everyone. And of course, visit our website at mustycanada.com. I don't know if you can see it. Can you have like a... It'll be weird the whole time.
Oh, really? Like here? Go.
Clear.
I even have more. That's one of the things you don't like about the winter. Your boogers are running down all the time.
Yeah, you got something.